Hey guys, had a great question pop up on X. And I'm not on X, aka Twitter, that much anymore, but my friend Amanda Orson, she tagged me, and this came in as a question from Oren John, the internet's creative director. He says, at what age should kids start seriously working out, lifting? My son wants to come to the gym every night. He's 9, but I'm not trying to start him doing weights or anything till he's ready. It's a great question. It's loaded. I've done podcasts on this. But I'm going to tell you something. At age 9, we don't really need a standardized, organized strength training program. We need kids to experience a lot of different sports and athletic movements and all types of experiences. Team sports, individual sports, martial arts if you can. Wrestling would be included as martial arts. And sneaking in kind of calisthenics and exercise throughout the day by disguising it as play. So my kids I've got a daughter in college, I've got a son who's 17 and a half. When we moved to this house 16 years ago, I put up a climbing rope, I put up a pair of rings, and I also had a pair of rings downstairs in the basement. So randomly, my kids would climb the rope. Randomly, they would be hanging from the rings, swinging, going upside down, doing skin the cats. I also had gymnastic mats that I had purchased, and I put them downstairs in the basement. I would use some of that stuff for push-ups and ab exercises. And if I would be down here working, I had this pair of little gymnastic high bars. My kids were doing all kinds of jumping exercises on them. So your son, who's 9, I would hang up a climbing rope. He doesn't have to go all the way up. He could lean back and do recline rope climbing. Put a jump rope out. They'll play with it. Get a little medicine ball, like a 4-pounder, and toss it back and forth to your son. Get your son in a lot of different sports. Football, flag football, basketball, wrestling, soccer, baseball, lacrosse, you name it, it doesn't matter. Let them have fun. Let them learn to compete. Let them learn to be a teammate. Let them learn to be an individual. Let them experience losing and struggling, and maybe having the conversations with them about, wow, you did great during that baseball game, but they tagged you out before you got to first. How do you think we could get faster? Oh, I'll run with you. I've always said that parents should do stuff with the kids and also showcase it at home. So if you're trying to tell your kid, and this is not towards John here, looking at him here on X, his handle, Oren John, is Oren Meets World. We're not in the best place when we tell the kids, do your push-ups, go out and run. It must be gamified. It has to be kind of snuck in. I remember doing push-ups with my kids. Who could do more push-ups? Lay on daddy's back. Daddy will do push-ups. They would then copy me. I had kettlebells in the garage, and I would be carrying them up and down the sidewalk, and then I would be doing push-ups and jumping on and off the stairs. So what did my kids do? They took the gymnastics mat outside, and they tried copying me, and they realized exercise is fun. It's a form of play. Now my kids, this is part of their lifestyle. It's not something I ever had to tell them to do. So when does the strength training begin in an organized fashion? Find an expert who's educated and really knows how to train youth and understands long-term athletic development. So I like to start training kids in 6th grade, although when I opened up my first location in this town of Manasquan, my kids were, that was 13 years ago, my kids were 4 and 6. Did they work out? No, they would sneak in. Athletes would be walking on their hands. They'd say, Ethan, come out here, I'll hold your ankles. Then my daughter would go out and push and pull a sled, throwing medicine balls back and forth. They never did a structured workout. But in 6th grade, then it became once or twice a week. 7th grade, twice or 3 days a week. 8th grade, 2 to 3 days a week. So nothing heavily structured at this age, but can you put some pieces of equipment that are kind of scattered throughout the house that turn your house into a little bit of a playground for working their body with bodyweight exercises and kind of basic gymnastic movements. And I believe that is the best place to start. Plus, again, exposure to many different sports and living an active lifestyle. As your kids get older and they become teenagers, they will start to learn and specialize in the sport that they love. And that sport that they love will hopefully be suited for their body type, but also their emotions, their mental state. So all sports have kind of like a different personality trait, right? If I'm wrestling, I'm probably pretty physical, pretty aggressive, playing rugby, football, so on and so forth. If I'm swimming, I might be very intrinsic thinker because there's not a lot of communicating in that sport. You're underwater the whole time unless you're having a little pre-practice plan with your coach. So each sport will attract a different kind of kid. I'm still a believer in multiple sports. John, if you have any questions or anybody else, send me a message on Instagram or go to zachstrength.com.